If you're in the market for a relatively inexpensive hybrid 3-row SUV, you surprisingly don't have that many options. There's the Ford Explorer Hybrid, the Kia Sorento Hybrid, and this, the 2022 Toyota Highlander Hybrid. All of the other 3-row SUVs are either gasoline only or PHEVs. So how does the Toyota Highlander Hybrid compare to the others? Let's go for a drive and find out. The Toyota Highlander is available with two powertrains. You can get it with a 3.5-liter V6 that produces around 295 horsepower. I reviewed that one quite a while ago now, and you can check it out up here if you're interested, but just be gentle on the comments because it is one of my earlier videos. The other powertrain, which is the title of this video, is a hybrid powertrain. So under the hood of this particular 2022 Toyota Highlander is a 2.5-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder, which has help from 2 electric motors in the transaxle and 1 electric motor in the back wheels. So it does have 3 electric motors in total. Here in Canada, it is only available with all-wheel drive, or technically it's called e-all-wheel drive because there is no physical drive shaft between the front and the back wheels. But in the United States, it is available as just front-wheel drive. The total system output of this hybrid powertrain is 243 horsepower. Unfortunately, Toyota doesn't say how much torque, but I did find out from Car and Driver that, or at least they say that it produces right around 175 pound-feet of torque or so. But I'm not sure if that's the total system torque or just the torque from the engine by itself. But anyway, what I can tell you is from behind the steering wheel, it definitely feels like as though it's lacking a bit of torque, because when you put your foot down, there's a lot of noise and you do get some movement when it's unloaded like how it is right now, but you don't get that feeling of getting pushed into the back of your seat. The V6 engine definitely solves this problem because with 295 horsepower and I think about 280 or so pound-feet of torque, somewhere around there, I can't remember off the top of my head, that one definitely feels faster and you do get that feeling of getting pushed into the back of your seat. Plus with that V6, you can tow up to 5,000 pounds. With this hybrid powertrain, it can only tow 3,500 pounds. But quick acceleration times is not really the point of this Highlander Hybrid. It's more about fuel economy. And on that front, this 2-ton SUV gets really good fuel economy numbers. Officially, the Toyota Highlander Hybrid is rated for 6.7 liters per 100 kilometers in a city and 6.8 liters per 100 kilometers on a highway. The highway fuel economy is a tiny bit higher because the SUV doesn't switch to EV driving at speeds above 70-ish kilometers an hour. You don't see that little green EV icon lighting up often on highways, unless you're coasting. In a city environment at slower speeds, the car runs often on electricity. With a nearly fully charged battery, it can also accelerate on electricity alone up to approximately 65 kilometers an hour. Of course, you have to be extremely gentle with the throttle pedal to get it up to that speed. There is an EV mode that allows for faster electric-only acceleration, but that mode is automatically disabled if you go past 30 kilometers an hour. Also, if you don't use the climate controls, I've noticed that the Highlander Hybrid will run more often on electricity. This has allowed me to get better than advertised fuel economy figures. I averaged just 6.4 liters per 100 kilometers during my time with the SUV. Driving the Highlander Hybrid around twists and turns or around town like how I am right now, it's definitely not engaging, but it's actually really easy to drive, which arguably is much more important in an SUV like this. If you really do want an engaging three-row SUV, then of course Mazda CX-9 is your best bet. But this SUV is actually very easy. It's not tiring at all. The steering has just the right amount of weight to it when you turn it. It makes it easy for parking, but it's also really stable when you drive on highways. So again, while this is not going to be a canyon carver, it's actually really comfortable and super easy to drive, and it's not going to tire you at all when you're on long road trips or just commuting to and from work. The ride of the Highlander Hybrid is supple and forgiving thanks to the soft suspension tuning and thick sidewall tires. It's also a pretty quiet SUV on the inside. Of course, you're not going to be hearing much when it's being driven on electricity, but even with the engine running at cruising speeds, it's relatively serene in there. However, when you put your foot down to overtake a vehicle or go up a hill, the engine makes so much noise that it sounds as though it's screaming in agony. For front occupants, there is a lot of space. The Highlander has similar dimensions in terms of headroom and legroom as the Honda Pilot or Hyundai Palisade. The second row is also spacious, with the Highlander Hybrid being behind only the Palisade in terms of second row legroom. The second row comes standard as a bench, with this Bronze Edition upgrading, or downgrading depending on how you look at it, to captain's chairs. The third row, however, is extremely tight, even for children, never mind adults. The 2022 Highlander has very limited legroom and headroom for occupants in that row. It feels more like a punishment if you get relegated to the far back seats. That's how tight they are. But behind the seats, the 2022 Highlander Hybrid has 453 liters of space behind the third row, 1,371 liters of space behind the second row, and 2,387 liters behind the first row with all seats folded. The 2022 Toyota Highlander Hybrid starts at $46,750 Canadian for the LE all-wheel drive. As I said at the start of the video, in Canada, the Highlander Hybrid is only available with all-wheel drive, whereas in the United States, it's optional. This particular Highlander Hybrid is the XLE trim with the Bronze Edition package, and you get more than just these 18-inch bronze wheels. You also get bronze door sills, rear camera mirror, hands-free power liftgates, second row captain's chairs, memory driver's seat, rain sensing wipers, and ambient lighting. If you need more gadgets, the Highlander Hybrid is also available in the top spec Platinum trim. With that, you get heated and ventilated front seats, a panoramic sunroof, a head-up display, surround view cameras, wireless phone charging, a larger 12.3-inch touchscreen, leather upholstery, and the list just goes on and on. On the safety side of things, the 2022 Toyota Highlander Hybrid comes standard with Toyota Safety Sense 2.5 Plus, which includes forward collision alert with automatic emergency braking and pedestrian detection and emergency steering avoidance. There's also lane departure warning with lane keep, automatic high beams, adaptive cruise control, and left turn intersection support, which can detect an oncoming vehicle and provide an alert or apply the brakes in case of an emergency. Also, the IIHS gave the 2022 Toyota Highlander a Top Safety Pick Plus with good ratings for crash tests and good or marginal scores for the headlights, depending on the trim level. So in the end, considering that the Ford Explorer Hybrid is only available in one trim and it'll cost you somewhere around $55,000 Canadian to start with, plus the Kia Sorento Hybrid is only available with 6 passenger seating and it has less cargo capacity than this, I think that the Toyota Highlander Hybrid is one of the best, more affordable 3-row hybrid SUVs on the market right now. Sure, it doesn't drive quite as well as the Ford Explorer Hybrid, and that third row is extremely tight, but it's really fuel efficient, it's spacious, it's very easy to drive, so you'll be relaxed at the end of your journey. It's available in multiple trim levels. It has 7 or 8 passenger seating. It's just one of the best out there. Hard part now is trying to find one in this 2022 market. Good luck with that. And if you do find one, let me know what kind of markup you're paying, or if you order one, how long the wait list is going to be. Comment down below. But if you want to know more about this 2022 Toyota Highlander Hybrid, I wrote a more detailed review of it over on my website. You can find that link in the video description or click on the pop-up banner right up there. And as always, I will see you in the next car or truck or most likely another SUV. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and see you in the next video.